Hey nerds, we have a special guest on today. Jamison Shea is joining us, the brilliant mind behind I Feed Her to the Beast and the Beast is Me. This dark fantasy has enthralled us with its powerful characters and gripping story. We're excited to get to know Jamison, dive into the world they've created, and talk about upcoming projects. We are so excited for this conversation. I'm also pumped that I said enthralled correctly and then messed up the word directly after it. So
Well done.
Welcome. Welcome.
Hello. Again, thank you for having me. This is really exciting. I don't do a lot of like podcasts and like book clubs and things, so I'm
Oh,
excited.
well, thank you. Thank you for
yeah, we're
coming on.
honored.
Yes.
Um,
All right. Go
Okay.
ahead, Stace.
So yes, thank you so much for being on. That's kind of a good way to describe it. This is like our little book club that we do. Just a little background real quick. Chanel's always been amazing at recommending books. And so when we'd hang out, that was like our main topics of conversation. And she actually recommended your book to me probably what, 6 or 7 months ago.
Yeah, yeah.
I devoured it in like 2 days. And so we've been talking about it ever since. She has the best recs. So I thought we'd start off. You can just like introduce yourself some more. Say anything you want to say about yourself. Feel free to go
yeah,
with it.
okay.
Yeah.
I can do this. I'm Jamison. I'm originally from Buffalo, New York. I'm a hardcore Buffalonian. Go Bills, Sabres. But now I live in Helsinki, Finland. Um, and let's see what else. I play classical music. I drink a lot of milk tea. Um,
Nice, nice.
and I prefer winter above all seasons.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a hard take. I don't know if I
I
know
know it's
anyone
not
who
a
likes that.
popular opinion, but I think winter is the best season.
Well, yeah, I guess that's why you live in Finland.
Exactly.
Okay, very cool. Very cool.
How does Finland compare to Buffalo, New York? Are they similar at all? Like
Yeah,
are the winters hard in New York like they are there? Yeah.
Buffalo winters are known for having a lot of snow. I would say temperature wise, it's pretty close to Helsinki, except like the Helsinki government, like city government, is really efficient about taking the snow away. And
Mm.
so even though they get about the same amount of snow, like the roads and like streets and sidewalks and stuff aren't covered here with snow, like it's very like
Wow,
neat.
Mm.
Um,
that's really
and yeah, I
nice.
think that's pretty much it. Buffalo really feels like a small town, in a lot of ways. And so I could like walk down the street and run into like my kindergarten teacher and she'll remember me and like call me
Mm.
by name. And so it's basically like home, but without
Mm.
all of the embarrassing memories of people who know me.
Okay, side tangent. Why did you decide
Mhm.
or want to
Yeah,
move?
Helsinki.
Yes, to Europe.
So I listen to a lot of like heavy metal. In Finland has so many bands. Like a lot of popular metal bands are from Finland. And so at some point I wanted to like come to Finland to see like why do they have so many? Like what is it about Finland that inspires so many bands? And then I came here and it was very like it was easy living. Like
Mm.
I am a black non-binary person. When I came the first time, I had pink hair, and like bubblegum pink, and like nobody stared at me. Like I didn't have like the discomfort of just like trying to be in public and having people like pay attention to me. So I could just like go about my day. I could get coffee and like, yeah. So it was just very easy living. And then again, the weather is very similar to Buffalo. So I know how
Mm.
to like adapt and like live here. And also I hate driving. So I like that I don't have to drive anywhere. I can just get on a bus or the metro or whatever. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, this is my own personal question. Was
Okay.
it hard? Because I want to move to Europe. Was
Yeah.
it,
So
um,
bad.
I know it's so bad.
So bad.
Was it hard or easy to move to Europe being an American?
I had it easy because my partner is French, and so EU citizens can just show up in any country, be like, I'm here, and then they're residents. And so he showed up and I said I'm with him on my visa application. And so they just sent me a card in the mail and said, welcome. But Finland, I think this was before Russia invaded Ukraine, and so there wasn't like an influx of refugees. And so Finland didn't really have a queue at that point. Like they just welcomed everyone in. France is notoriously difficult. They're just a nightmare.
Mhm. Yeah.
But yeah, I think it depends on the country. Because there are some that don't have as many that don't have as many people registering for immigration, that don't have as many refugees, and so they're more likely to get back to you sooner. I've heard Greece is also really bad, but for example, like Czech Republic, like Prague, I think is pretty. I've heard that Prague is like pretty easy when it comes to like migrating.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Like I said, that was just personal tangent. What I guess also we can segue into your book since it's based in Paris.
Yeah.
Why did you
Why
base
Paris?
it in Paris? I guess.
So I wanted it to be I wanted it to take place in a city with a ballet where it's believable that ballerinas would fight each other for it. No one would be convinced that Buffalo ballerinas are murdering each other. I love the city, but that's just no one's gonna fall for it. And then and I also wanted it to be I wanted the city to be a character. And so I wanted it to be a place that I had been to and I was familiar with and like could navigate and like realistically talk about. And so it ended up boiling down to either Paris or San Francisco, which I lived in at the time. Paris has the catacombs, so it won out. It has a lot of things that are just naturally built into it that I didn't have to exaggerate or make up. There really could be a river of blood in the catacombs. Who knows? Could be.
Yeah.
So I had that kind of going for me.
Very true. Very
Yeah.
true. We don't know what's down there.
No.
Deep down
I
there.
mean, sometimes every time I go, I want to go deeper into the catacombs. Like I've been a few times, but like I've heard that there's a movie theater down there. Or there was, I think the police busted it or they tried to bust it, but like there might be mole people living down there. Who knows? There's probably like a
We
cool
don't know.
nightclub that you gotta know the secret password. So who knows?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. Like you said, there could be a river. Who knows?
Yeah. It's definitely a good vibe for the book. Like the mysterious, dark. Yeah. We don't know what's down there. Yeah.
Yeah, but like you said, it was its own good character. Because I know Stacy kind of in our book episode was talking about like when Laura and Josephine like go and have lunch, like that was such a pivotal like scene. You could really like see it if you haven't been to Paris, right? Like just the food and like the little cafe and stuff. It was like you said, that couldn't be in Buffalo. So
Exactly.
So yeah, it was just very cool that it was written in such like a beautiful city. So yeah. Do you have any more questions before I take over, Stacy?
Oh no, I love it when you take over. No, I mean, I guess just about the book, what was there like a specific thing that inspired you to start writing it?
Yes. Can I talk about like body horror? Is that okay?
Yes, I
Awesome.
just
Okay.
side segue before you got on here. Speaking of body horror, I have recently got Chanel into watching Hannibal, which there's a lot of like, do you watch Hannibal?
It's my favorite show.
Stacy, don't
like,
cry.
absolutely.
Stacey's gonna cry.
That's Stacy's favorite show. Wow.
I just got a Hannibal tattoo and I'm like rewatching it for the millionth time with Chanel to like how you got to this part.
I finally convinced my friend to start watching it. Well, I convinced her months ago and I was just at her house yesterday. Like, can I get my DVDs back because I want to watch it. Like, come on. Yes,
I thought
absolutely love
Stacy
it.
was crazy because all she would talk about is the show over and over and over.
Over.
And I just started watching it last week and I'm almost done with season 2. And I'm like, damn, this is a good show.
Yeah.
It's worth it. She's not crazy.
She
Yeah.
literally texted me last night and she was like, "Is that your social worker and the horse?" And I was like, "Chanel, yes, that's one of the best episodes."
Amazing. Absolutely.
Stacey,
Like
can you
I
show your
talk about it
tattoo?
all the time. Yes, show the tattoo.
Okay, yeah. Hold on. I gotta pull my arm out of it.
1 second. Wow,
Sorry, I
she
didn't think it was gonna be that involved.
undressed.
Sorry.
What does it say? I gave you a
Rare
rare gift. Oh, and the teacup. Okay.
But and I got like my little Hannibal fan art back there. But it's just funny because I was talking to Chanel and I was like, man, I bet they've watched the show because the book just
Yeah.
gives such like dark, like
Yeah.
body horror like vibes. Ooh, I'm so
Yeah,
pumped.
my friend, when they like an earlier draft, I had a friend read it, and they were like, "You can tell that you like Hannibal. Like it reads like you like Hannibal." And I'm like,
Love
"Okay, I can't lie."
it.
But yeah, talk to us about your
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
inspiration.
So I play classical music instruments, and the book was inspired by something I did in high school. So I used to play the flute, and I was really, really competitive. I wanted to be first chair, first flute, the whole deal. And a lot of my classmates, I went to a private school, so a lot of my classmates had private lessons. And it turns out the more expensive your instrument is, the better you sound, which is really unfair, but whatever. But yeah, so I had worked really, really, really hard to get to first chair, first flute. And then I wanted to prove my dedication. I wanted to prove that I could be the best. And my mom scheduled me to get my wisdom teeth out like 2 days before a concert or something. And like there was so much swelling and like the stitches and everything. And so the day of the concert, I took the pain medication and then I popped the stitches so that I could open my mouth all the way because the swelling was like I couldn't open my mouth. And so I couldn't put my mouth into the position to play. And so if I couldn't play, then I was convinced that I would never make it. So I tore the stitches in my gums so that I could play. And then recently, I was reminded of that because I had a playing test. Like I continued on with like playing the flute, and I had something coming up, and I just remembered like, oh yeah, remember when I did that really dumb thing? And so I wanted to write about someone who was so dedicated to their art that they also did something kind of intense and maybe a little graphic body horror related. But I think musicians are kind of boring, so I did ballet instead.
Yeah. But I think it also speaks to like different professions or positions have different displays of body horror. Like that's a musician, you have ballet, but like think about like the Olympics, like we saw like gymnastics or like my brother is a professional basketball player and I've seen like body horror in that. And like I feel like to be the best or not even just to be the best, but like just playing and you know to be in any kind of professional setting, people will do crazy things like whether it's mentally or physically. And so that's a great example, and it's so interesting for you to write about that as well. So yeah, that was really cool to see.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't recommend it. Do not pull the stitches from your mouth. I was tasting blood as I was playing. It was gross. It was horrible.
Yeah.
I was just say, what a badass.
Yeah, we're not promoting it. We're just saying that it happens.
My face was also like swollen. My friends were like, "You look like a chipmunk," but I was gonna play anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, we're definitely not encouraging it. It's
No.
Definitely Laurel vibes from the book.
Yeah.
I had a question.
Mhm.
I messaged you on social media about it, but where did you get inspiration for the character names?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I might have used a generator.
Mm.
Okay.
Or no, yeah, I think I did a mix of like a fantasy name generator, and then also I did like the top, like the most 1,000 most common names in France, and kind of pulled those.
Mhm.
I am always really, I try to use names that I have never met someone with those names. And
Mm.
so like you will never like be able to like pick out like, oh, they used my name or whatever.
Mhm.
Because I don't want to like associate the person with the character.
Yeah.
And so yes, I pulled up like the most common names in France and would just like scroll until found a name of someone I haven't met.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I think that was for the most part for the characters. And then in terms of like the fantasy elements, like Acheron, Elysium, those are kind of borrowed from Greek mythology. And then I kind of
Mm.
loosely inspired by Greek mythology and then added my own mythos to it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Nice.
Very cool.
Mhm.
Uh,
yeah.
if you guys have any more questions before we start diving into your next book slash any upcoming projects?
No question. I just have to tell you how much I love this book. Like, obsessed with it. Chanel recommended it. I cannot stop talking about it and recommending it to people. It's just,
Thank you.
Mhm.
you write female rage so well. Like,
Yes.
I wanted her to burn everything down after like the first chapter. I was like, please burn it all down. So no questions. I had to tell you that.
Thank you. Yeah, it was very fun to write a character like Lore who like swears that she's not angry as she's like stewing inside. And so
Mhm.
like just
Right.
getting to build up to every time that she like snaps a little bit until she
Yeah.
snaps at the end was really
That
fun.
slow burn. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I guess maybe this kind of leads into it too, because it almost made me angry. Not almost, it did.
I was say you were angry, Chanel.
Was it? Why? Why? And maybe this was purposefully part of her character arc. Like, why was she so obsessed with the other girls slash, the white characters in the
Mm.
story, their perception of
Yeah.
her, their opinions of her, like,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess, was it just like because of society? Is it because
Yeah.
it's ingrained in her? Is that just
I
because?
think it's for me, like the way that I conceptualized it is that like part of it is that she's so isolated and like she has no one to tell her that this isn't healthy or normal. And so like Keturah and Ander start to be the voice of reason of like you're losing it, like you need to like draw back.
Mhm.
But if you don't have that voice, then you're just going to keep pushing yourself until you break, which is what she does.
Mhm.
Um, so like there's a little secret like mini message of like the importance of community and like having people who will value you regardless, because otherwise you will just keep kind of like, I guess, tap dancing for the approval of people who don't like you and they will never like you.
Right.
Um,
Mhm.
yeah, it
Yeah.
takes her a while to get it.
Right. 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 Because yeah, by the end of the book, you're like, I think there was like one point I was like, finally,
Yeah,
and it, like you said, it was kind of her little found family, but it was also her too, like
yeah,
realizing it.
yeah. Part of it is she is isolated, and it's also the only world that she knows, and it's how she's built her entire self-worth is through the eyes of the ballet. And
Mm.
so, yeah, took her a
Yeah.
while.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But that's a good message. It's just frustrating for her,
Oh
frustrating to
yeah,
read.
yeah,
But yeah, that's a good message to get at
Yeah.
the end. So
yeah.
yeah, I like it.
I have
But
One last question. Sorry.
Okay.
Did you have a favorite scene that you liked writing? Like, is there one that really stood out to you?
My favorite is definitely after Corley finds the phone and she has all the food. Like I'm a foodie, and the food was based on a restaurant in Paris that I had been to that has like a lot of Greek food. It's really, really good. And so like it was based on a bunch of food that I bought from this restaurant in Paris. But just like writing that scene where Laura is suspicious and she's nervous, she's been caught, but also she's hungry. Like that combo of emotions was just really fun for me. Like I wanted it to be kind of entertaining. Like I was laughing as I wrote it because haven't we all had some kind of moment where you shouldn't be hungry, but like the food's hot, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that was my favorite. And it's just like a little throwaway scene, but I think about it a lot.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay, so now can you tell us just a little
What's
bit
next?
about, yes, what's next? Which we know there's a sequel, but
Yes,
just a little
the
bit about it.
sequel is coming in November. Called I Am the Dark That Answers When You Call. And high level, like it's basically dealing with like burnout while being possessed. So after the events of book one, Laura is still possessed. She's kind of burned out and having a meltdown because, as I said, she built her entire self-worth and her identity in the ballet. So like, what do you do next? And that one is inspired by me going away to college. I went away to college and I went to a university where like none of my friends came with me to that university. So I was in a new city, in a new state, alone, and I didn't know anybody. And then like that first few months to like that first year of college where like you're adjusting to this new setting and you suck at everything that you used to be good at in high school. Like I channeled all of that into a book.
That sounds great.
Yeah. So it's a little bit of that. We get more of Laura's backstory.
Ooh,
Her mom makes an appearance.
ooh, yay, yay.
Yes, we were talking about that on the book episode.
Yes. So Laura's mom makes an appearance and kind of factors into the story. There's more of Elysium, Acheron, Lethe. And so, yeah, it's kind of just all coming together in the end. I don't know how much I should say and not say. I don't know what to
No,
do.
that's great. This is exactly what we wanted. Little teaser.
Yeah,
But
it's absolutely a chaos. Yeah, it's bisexual chaos as well because Laura's kind of dealing with this like, are Andrew and I together? Or are we not together? So like, yeah, it's fun.
we love bisexual chaos.
We sure do. We're here for it.
Yeah, Stacy, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So actually I like this. You have this note. What are some of your favorite book/authors, specifically in the horror thriller genre? And then we can segue to a game quick.
Yeah. So my favorite authors, Sylvia Moreno Garcia, I absolutely love. She does a lot of different genres. So for example, Mexican Gothic and Silver Nitrate are like horror books. The Beautiful Ones was unexpected. That one is, it kind of feels like a Jane Austen novel, but with telekinesis. And it's like, it's not very long either. And so like you can zoom through it. I was obsessed. And then also Stephen Graham Jones. So he has a book called My Heart is a Chainsaw. And it's part of a trilogy, but the book one is My Heart is a Chainsaw. And it's about a Native American girl who is obsessed with horror movies. And then she finds herself living in a slasher. But she doesn't believe that she's the final girl. There's a black girl at her school, and she thinks the black girl is the final girl. So she tries to like prepare her to survive this slasher that they're in. So I would definitely say those two authors are probably my favorites in terms of horror that I consistently go back to.
Okay, yeah, those are some
Yeah.
good
Cool.
picks.
Yeah, I
I'm gonna check those
also
out.
read a lot of Andrew Joseph White, because he is always pushing it with like body horror and like gore and YA books in like the most fun and heartfelt ways. So yeah, him as well.
Like just the covers of his books. I was like, okay, I need to like, I gotta mentally prepare myself for when I read
Yeah.
his books. But yeah, those are like really good racks. I need to expand my
Yes.
horizon for
If you
horror.
read anything, My Heart is a Chainsaw, I think is one of my favorite books of any genre. So highly recommend.
Ooh.
Okay. Add those to the TBR. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. All right. Well, this game is just this or that
Okay.
game, but kind of tailored to I Feed Her to the Beast. So like
Okay.
I say kind of, it's not gonna be super fun. But Ashley and Stacy, you can obviously chime in with your answers as well. Okay. So Jamison, do you prefer dark romance or thriller?
I'll go with thriller. I don't know if I've read any dark romances. Or I
Okay.
don't know, like I read something that I think is a dark romance and I'm like, that wasn't that dark. So maybe we'll just go with thriller until I've read like a proper dark romance.
Okay. What about mysteries or horrors? Which
Horror, of course.
Yeah.
do you prefer writing at nighttime or during the day?
Nighttime. I have a cat, and so I have to write when she's unconscious. So I tire her out throughout the day and then write at night.
Okay. Do you prefer Roman or Greek mythology?
Greek,
Okay.
definitely Greek.
I would go with Greek too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was gonna say with the first question, Chanel, I was like, I'm ready for some monster romance with Andor. And
Yeah,
I was thinking the same thing, Stacey. I am here for it.
there's a little bit more. There's more.
It's coming. It's coming.
It's coming.
Okay, paperback or hardback books?
Paperback.
Yeah,
I
paper.
hate hardcovers.
I just feel like I'm gonna like mess them up or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, Versailles or the Louvre?
Louvre.
The
I don't
Louvre?
know. I don't know. I haven't been to Versailles yet. Every time I think about going, I just think about how long it takes to get from like
Get out
central
there.
Paris. Yeah. And
That's
I'm
why I haven't.
also, yeah, I also just hate rich people. I hate wealth and royalty. And so I feel like being in Versailles would like make me physically ill to just see all of that. Have any
The
of you
rich.
been?
Yeah, eat the rich.
Eat the rich. I just yeah. Okay, croissant or a baguette?
Honestly, neither.
Neither.
But
What?
I love,
Gluten free.
I
We're
know,
gluten free here.
I would take, I suppose I would prefer a croissant, but yeah.
That's okay. It's okay. We're gluten free. That's all right.
Oh, I did what is it? I don't remember what it's called. I tried a croissant cookie combined. It's like,
Oh,
have you heard of those?
No.
Yeah. I don't know who invented it. I found it when I was in Marseille, and it's like the outside is a croissant dipped in chocolate, but then when you bite into it, there's a chocolate chip cookie in the center.
sounds
Whoa.
amazing.
My
It sounds like
partner's
a
mom
dream.
was like, that is an abomination.
Yeah, but it sounds amazing.
It sounds amazing.
That was
Mhm.
that was good. That was good.
So that's your choice, really.
Yeah.
Okay, Hades or Persephone?
Hmm. I guess it depends on like whether it's a retelling or the type of retelling. I guess I would pick Persephone in general, overall.
Okay. Standalone or a series?
Standalone.
Okay.
Ironically.
I like a good series. I mean, I like both, but I like a good series.
Yeah.
Honestly, it probably just depends on the book, really.
Maybe, yeah.
But okay, cheese or caviar?
Cheese. Of course.
Cheese. Obviously, Chanel, we're gonna eat the
Always.
rich.
Always.
I should have
Give
even
us
asked.
the cheese. Give us the cheese.
The ballet or gymnastics, just because we're in Paris and the Olympics.
I would pick the gymnastics.
Okay, Simone Biles.
Yeah,
I know too much about ballet now, so I'm gonna pick gymnastics where I know very little.
Yeah, that's true. Do you like plot-driven books or character-driven books?
Plot.
Yeah,
I prefer plot, yeah.
me too. Okay, last one.
Mm-hmm.
Ander or Lore?
That's hard,
hard.
Chanel.
I know.
It's
That's
so
not a
fucking
fair
hard,
question.
I'm so sorry.
Lore is my baby, but I would pick Ander.
I would
picking
too.
Lore. I'm picking Lore. I love.
Ander's my baby. I just
Yeah. I get it.
Controversial. It's controversial.
Yeah.
it's controversial.
It is controversial. Okay,
Yeah.
that's our game. There's no winners. There's no winners in this game.
Cannot win.
But yeah, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Stacy, do you want to explain our little kudos and our wrap up?
Yeah. So when we actually started this podcast, we started because me and Chanel love fan fiction, and then we got Ashley into it. So we're like big AO3 fans, and so we'd always give kudos at the end. So we like a year ago transitioned into books instead of fan fiction, but we kept our kudos corner because we like it. So usually at the end it's just us saying like something, a person or something that happened. We like to just give thanks or shout it out. Usually it's us when we're alone just loving each other, but if you we can go first, and then if you want to kudos anything you can just like shout it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
No pressure. You don't have to if you don't want to, only if you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, I'll go first.
Okay.
Obviously, first, I want to give a special thanks and kudos to you, Jamison, for coming on. I know it's really late, and obviously, you said you don't do a lot of podcasts, so just really appreciate you spending the time to chat with us. So thank you. And like Stacy and Ashley, like again, thank you guys for doing this podcast. It's always so fun. You guys made the outlines and everything, introductions. So thank you. And another special kudos to my brother and his wife, Kendall and Kiki. It was their anniversary the other day. So kudos to them. So yeah.
Yay.
I'll go next. Obviously, my kudos is for you, Jamison. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to be on here. When I tell you it was a dream when I heard that you were going to be on the podcast, I couldn't believe it. Your book is amazing. I'm so excited for the second one. And just thank you so much for making time for us.
It was just funny because Ashley was the last one she listened to your book to get her voice messages or like stuff like when she's reading it. And me and Chanel are like, we know, Ashley, we knew months ago.
Yeah, she joined the bandwagon late.
Yeah, it's okay. Obviously my kudos is gonna be very similar. It's just to you, like Chanel said, we appreciate you coming on so much. It's been really fun. Like the energy's been great. You're so cool. I knew you were gonna fucking love Hannibal too. I could just tell. that was big for me. Connection. Yeah, I just can't wait to see what else can't wait for November. Can't wait to see what else comes out. And yeah, kudos to Ashley and Chanel, obviously, always for keeping me sane. So and Chanel with the book recs always. Because I started reading The Familiar. So
oh, nice.
another rec from Chanel.
Nice. All right.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Jamison.
My kudos to all of you for having me, inviting me, talking about my book, just reading my book. It's always nice. And then I guess I would also give a kudos to my partner. We went to Paris and our first date was in the catacombs.
Whoa.
Kind of traumatizing a little bit. Like that's not where you want to, like you go underground, you have no cell service, it's dark, you don't know how long it'll be before you like see civilization again. So,
I don't know this person.
creepy.
Taking me longer.
A little creepy, but it paid off. So yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
Also, Misty Copeland, I watched her documentary. I basically read every single interview that she gave as like research in some sense. So also kudos to her.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. Well, again, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you everyone for listening. Read I Feed Her to the Beast, which is out in paperback now. Yes.
Yes.
And
Tuesday, I think.
Tuesday. It's coming
Yes.
up. Yes, which is when our podcast comes
That's
out.
perfect.
Oh,
Perfect
yes.
timing. And then read I Am the Dark, which is coming out this fall, which we're super excited about. Woo-hoo.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Ashley, are you gonna stop recording?
She's like, I'm trying.
She's trying.
She's muted
She's
herself.
trying.
What's so funny, Ashley's, and so we all live in Indiana.